in the modern arena of global commerce, look around. Very few combatants actually command the battlefield quite like Nike. And listen, this explainer, it's not about shoes, not really. It's a primal look at how a single entity conquered the globe, how they built an absolute empire. We're talking strategy, deep psychology, unyielding ambition. So, today, we deconstruct the armor of a modern titan.
$35. Just let the weight of that sink in for a moment. Back in 1971, that was the meager price they paid to create a simple, curved line. The swoosh. It was just a quiet spark in the dark.
And today, $46.3 billion. That's their projected global revenue footprint for 2025. I mean, from $35 to an economic force that literally eclipses entire nations. But you know, empires aren't built by accident. They're engineered.
Part 1. The Ascent to Dominance.
Let's contrast the territory of the challenger against the undisputed king. You've got Adidas, a genuinely formidable force valued at $14.5 billion. But then there's Nike, commanding a value well over $20 billion. Actually, in the United States alone, their market share triples that of their greatest rival. They don't just compete in the market anymore, they define it.
Part 2. The Weapons of Strategy.
To claim 37% of the entire global market, well, that requires an arsenal. And every era acts like a heavy hammer strike. 1964, that's the foundation. 1971, the forging of the swoosh. But then 1985, the Air Jordan. That wasn't a shoe, it was a revolution. And then 1988, just do it. These aren't just marketing campaigns, they're weapons of product differentiation, weapons of total cultural dominance.
And then we get into the psychological weaponry, demand creation. Listen, this isn't traditional marketing. It's a relentless, strategic investment. They funnel billions into this massive emotional machine. They align their crest with absolute icons: Jordan, Williams, LeBron. They don't just sell products to us, they engineer desire. They forge these unbreakable attachments.
Part 3. Forged in the Fire.
Because even titans bleed. An empire of this scale, it carries deep scars. Their whole model relies heavily on outsourcing to low-cost nations, which has brought historical accusations of sweatshops and fractured labor ethics, real vulnerabilities in the armor. And internally, they battle fragmented data and massive security risks. So to survive all this, they've had to brutally audit their own fortress and repair those cracks.
Believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything. The 2018 Kaepernick campaign. This was an immense corporate risk. They walked willingly into the fire, stepping directly into a deeply polarizing cultural arena.
But the fallout wasn't a collapse. It was a staggering 31% sales surge in the immediate quarter. By anchoring their brand identity to such a divisive cultural moment, they neutrally monetized the controversy. It was a calculated stand, forging even deeper loyalty among their core demographic.
Part 4. The Digital Battlefield.
Now, the final frontier isn't fought in physical stores anymore. It's direct-to-consumer digital warfare. The ultimate goal here is total ecosystem control. They're targeting a 50-50 split between traditional retail and digital dominance. Accelerated by a global pandemic, their direct digital focus skyrocketed to 63% by 2021. Think about that. They're bypassing the middleman completely, building unbreakable, direct lines straight to us. And they're looking ahead to what might be the ultimate threat, the Earth itself. The Move to Zero initiative. Zero carbon emissions by 2050. Total elimination of manufacturing waste, using 100% recycled materials. Look, this isn't merely ethics. It's the strategic fortification of their empire against future market collapse. They're securing their supply chain for the decades to come.
Over $400 billion. That's their valuation. Built on relentless innovation, forged through fierce controversy, adapting instantly to the digital age. They truly are a titan standing completely alone at the peak. Which really leaves us with one final question. As they fortify their walls for the future, can any challenger, anywhere, ever truly disrupt their reign?